Fox's newest big-budget TV show, Ultimate Tag, has some very shady goings-on behind it. This story gets very disturbing, and I can't lie, I'm kind of worried about the backlash I may receive from Fox. So, fingers crossed? Unless you've been living under a rock for the past few years, there's a good chance you'll have seen viral video after viral video of what is known as World Chase Tag.
This could be it! The title's in his hands! Can he claim the evasion over the mountain? And there it is! Unbelievable!
And very recently, the major American television network Fox released their multi-million-dollar TV show called Ultimate Tag. Ultimate Tag is a big deal. The show was literally announced to the world by none other than Justin Timberlake, in front of a host of A-list celebrities at a Fox event in New York City. And the show itself features some of the biggest names in parkour. The Seven Network have already commissioned an Ultimate Tag spin-off all the way in Australia, and Fox are already claiming this to be their #1 rated summer TV show. To top it all off, the show is hosted by NFL superstars JJ Watt and his brothers TJ and Derek. Derek definitely got the less cooler name out of the guys. What I'm trying to say here is this show is a big deal. It's not an episode of Supermarket Sweep.
Off goes Steve, sprinting into the fruit and veg. Got the bananas?
However, today we're going to explore the dark truth behind Fox's Ultimate Tag and how Fox ripped off a thriving underground sport and turned it into a gimmick.
See how happy I am right now?
Ultimate Tag premieres Wednesday, May 20th on Fox.
Before we get into this insane story, I want to shout out today's sponsor, Vite Ramen. Vite Ramen are a company literally made by free runners who specialise in making super nutritious ramen. These things are actually delicious. I've kind of got a little bit addicted to them. This one in particular contains 29 grams of complete protein and 25% of your daily values for your essential minerals and vitamins. If you are interested, be sure to check the link in the description. I'll leave a code to 10% off. So, when I heard about this new show that pits regular people against a series of professional taggers on an obstacle course, I became curious as to how this show came around. I instantly assumed that this must have been licensed by World Chase Tag. However, as you'll find out in the rest of the video, that is far from what happened. Fox's Ultimate Tag was the creation of Snack & Co. In the media run-up to the release of Ultimate Tag, an article emerged in the entertainment industry magazine called Broadcast Now. In this article, Snack & Co.'s head of development, Glenn Coomber, opens by telling us, "When Natalka Znak suggested the centuries-old game of tag was something we should make into a TV show, we loved it. Was it too obvious and simple? Why has no one done this before?" Now, this is where the very first problem comes in. To imply that no one had done this before would imply that Ultimate Tag was the very first time to take the centuries-old game of tag and turn it into a TV show. This article was published in 2020. Which is a little bit weird because World Chase Tag's first ever event was in 2016. This single event shot World Chase Tag into being a viral phenomenon, with literally millions and millions of views and shares from a number of viral pages like Unilad. Not only was this thing getting attention online, there was also news broadcasts about World Chase Tag.
He was just really playing tag in the garden with Orlando when he was young. He didn't really like some of the other sports, so we just used to play loads and loads of tag.
Pretty much everyone had seen this. Even my technologically impaired dad had seen clips of World Chase Tag. And then somehow, Natalka from Snack & Co. had this completely original concept all by herself. It's a bit of a coincidence. In 2019, World Chase Tag had already had a championship played on Channel 4. NBC in America have also played a championship on their network. Both of these broadcasts had happened before this article was written. The chances of Snack & Co. not knowing who World Chase Tag was very slim. Further on in the article, we hear that Natalka Znak, the founder of Snack & Co., was said to have held everyone's feet to the fire about sticking to our proposed tagline. There is only one rule: don't get caught. Where have I heard that before?
Don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
And don't get caught.
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 And don't get caught.
Now this is where things get interesting. The strapline, "There's only one rule, don't get caught," which Knack & Co. claims to be their creation, just so happens to be the exact same tagline that World Chase Tag have used since the Stora Chase-Off, all the way back in 2016, and they've used that ever since. "Don't get caught" was used on countless pieces of merchandise from World Chase Tag, like hoodies, t-shirts, phone cases, as well in so many of World Chase Tag's social media posts. And even the Latin translation for "don't get caught" was inscribed in all of the medals that were handed out at the Stora Chase-Off. We can forgive them for maybe not knowing Latin, but the others are a little bit suspicious.
Make sure to check out my new show where there's only one rule: don't get caught. Get ready for Ultimate Tag coming to Fox.
I'm going to play a sizzle reel that I helped World Chase Tag develop in May 2017. A sizzle reel is effectively a trailer that TV show production companies use to pitch TV ideas. If we pause and look really closely, you can actually see me in the background. Sadly, I wasn't good enough to make it in the video. This sizzle reel was created by Matador in a hope to get a full World Chase Tag TV show. This video was made 4 years before Ultimate Tag was released, and you can see the tagline there. In fact, the tagline's not only used in the video graphics, but actually on the athletes' jerseys. And if you were to guess one of the companies that this sizzle reel landed in the hands of, who would you guess? Fox Sports. Fox, who eventually hosted Ultimate Tag, are a different company to Fox Sports 1. So I can only speculate that this may have landed in the hands of Fox. However, the argument that that could have happened wouldn't be unreasonable to make. So I searched all around the internet to see if Ultimate Tag credited World Chase Tag at all. It took me quite a while, but I found one article where Knack & Co. lists their inspirations. And so they cite some of their inspirations. They say Gladiator, Ninja Warrior, Total Wipeout, but not even a hint that World Chase Tag or that Parkour Tag exists anywhere outside of this TV show. On the 19th of August 2018, in the run-up to World Chase Tag's third major event, World Chase Tag had released a promo of highlights from the last event to promote World Chase Tag 3. When looking through the comments of this post, I spotted one comment that just seemed a little bit off. This comment came from Dwayne Hat Eaton, who had tagged someone by the name of Adam Cassidy. This seemingly innocent comment would uncover something much darker just 2 years later. You see, at the time of this comment, Adam Cassidy was a producer, and Dwayne Hat Eaton was a casting producer for, you guessed it, Knack & Co. The same Knack & Co. that went on to produce Ultimate Tag. And if you look closer at the post, you will see the tagline, "There's only one rule, don't get caught." And going back to Glenn's article, saying that, why has no one ever done this before? We know that in 2018, before Ultimate Tag had even gone into production, and way before Knack & Co. had wrote this article, it is clear from this comment that Knack & Co. know who World Chase Tag was, what they were doing, and their tagline. Instead of using their multi-million-dollar budget to create a brand new tagline, they felt it would be better to use a tagline that was already very familiar with the millions and millions of people who had already seen World Chase Tag online. Later in the article, Glenn Coomber tells us that he hired Toby Sager and Raul Del Costa, and says that both are renowned in the parkour world and had also had TV experience. Toby Sager is a member of the world's largest parkour team, Stora. As I mentioned earlier, this connection to Stora is very important in proving that Knack & Co. knew who World Chase Tag were, way before they even conceptualized their TV show. You see, Toby competed against Marrera Gang in the final of the Stora Chase-Off. He also competed again in World Chase Tag 4.
And Toby Seager is chasing for breach.
As well, Stora appeared in the World Chase Tag's proof of concept videos all the way back in 2015, where you can also see the very catchy tagline. There is no way that at no point working with Toby Sager, that the conversation of World Chase Tag didn't come up. Knowing Toby and being good friends with him, I knew he would be perfect to talk to get some inside information about Ultimate Tag.
I'm Toby Steger, one of Team Stora. A TV agency called Snack & Co. said that they're basically pitching a new show, and that it would be good if I could come in and talk from a parkour athlete's perspective. I sort of saw it as an opportunity to bring some crazy ideas that I've always had in my head, like, to life. And I was coming up with these ridiculous structures. We'd have like Assassin's Creed beams sticking out of this super tall like column with water underneath. Crazy stuff. A lot of that stuff wasn't happening. It was a bit gutting here and there when it was like, you know, they voiced that they were up to this idea or this one worked, and then the next week it would be spun right around and forgotten, and it had sort of been scaled down again to the chase tag concepts. They were definitely aware of World Chase Tag. They knew plenty about it. They'd done crazy levels of research into it. I'd bring it up here and there when rules and formats and stuff would directly correlate with the chase tag format. I don't know to what level they were maybe disregarding that, or whether they were listening to my worries as to, you know, the formats crossing over or whatever. They dropped me before the major processes started happening over there in the States, because I started to wonder why I was actually there. They asked me if I wanted to join in on some of the test runs, and when I was like, I literally slipped a disc in my back, like, I've told you that I can't do the course. I'm here consulting, like, that's what I'm being paid for. And they were like, well, what? Like, why here then? I wasn't contacted after that at all. And they didn't update me on the processes or even let me know kind of how it was going, nothing. And then Ruel let me know that there wasn't even a credit for me in the show.
So I return to Kuma's article and come to a section titled Tricks of the Trade, Glenn Coomber. This is a list of tricks from a TV production expert telling us how to make a successful TV show. His very first trick is to find the most authentic foundation to build your TV show on, and then get the experts to help you build it. And there it is, in black and white. The most authentic foundation is a father playing tag with his son in the garden, who then forms a tag meetup group in Hyde Park to broaden his community, who then ropes his brother to sell his flat to invest in their own scaffolding, and then puts their livelihoods on the line to host their first event and build a genuine World Chase Tag community from the ground up. So now that Coomber's found the most authentic foundation, all he needs are the experts. But when, and in Toby's case, the experts don't agree with your direction, you get rid of them and keep the ones who don't mind. After I spoke to Toby and heard that Znack would continually reference World Chase Tag in their meetings, I wanted to dig deeper into their knowledge of World Chase Tag. And unbelievably, the story gets even worse. World Chase Tag 3.
Tavon starts up on the mountain, goes into the centre of the court, round by the ridge.
One match that stood out from the rest was between Ape Escape and the boys. The boys! It's for the boys! This video alone received 38 million views. That video has 29,000 comments. And the most talked about athlete from that match was Tavon McVeigh, who you might recognise as The Flow from Fox's Ultimate Tag.
It's The Flow. He's one of the fastest men over objects on the planet.
Shortly after this match went viral, Tavon was approached by Fox. At the same time, World Chase Tag were planning their 4th event and called up Tavon to confirm his attendance. After talking on the phone, World Chase Tag had found out from Tavon that somehow Fox had banned Tavon from competing in World Chase Tag. As many young people who get into television and don't have an agent will find out, small print on a contract matters. Fox had made Tavon sign his exclusivity to Ultimate Tag. This meant, for Tavon, he could no longer legally compete in World Chase Tag 4. Despite World Chase Tag still wanting him there, Tavon legally couldn't without getting sued.
I've wanted to put my story out there for a bit because every single day now I get messages about people calling me like a traitor to like things like this. I got contacted by this English company. They were just like, hey, we're doing this tag show. And we saw you on World Chase Tag and we'd love for you to be a part of it. And they were like, we're working with 2 other people here. We'd love to have talk and interview and things like this. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is the brothers. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm down. Absolutely. I didn't find out until I think either the last day of filming or like the last week of filming that they had nothing to do with it. I contacted, I believe, Christian, and I said, hey, thank you for this opportunity, whatever. And he was like, what are you talking about? I'm like, oh wait, you guys don't know about? We're doing a thing that's kind of like World Chase Tag, but it's Ultimate Tag with like, you know what I mean?
You kind of had the impression that World Chase Tag were involved. You thought they must have licensed it or something like that.
I was under the grand impression that not only they licensed it, but the Bose brothers would be there. Last year I couldn't go on the show because I was contractually unable to. I am in a contract for the next either 5 years or 5 seasons. Everyone else got their likeliness taken out because they have agents and things like that, but I'm stupid. And I was like, oh man, if I miss this opportunity, I'm never gonna have another one. So I signed the contract. So when I found this out, I was like immediately like just distraught. Like I asked them, I was like, hey, they're doing it, this company, can I do that? And automatically they were like, yeah, you breached your contract and that's not gonna be good for you. So
why would Fox ban an athlete from competing in the sport that they love? Or are they actually trying to damage or punish World Chase Tag? So after finding out all of this, I'm of course rather skeptical leading up to the release of Ultimate Tag. After a bit of Googling, I found the episodes of this brand new multi-million-dollar TV show.
This is Ultimate Tag.
The Ultimate Tag TV show is split up into 5 different sections. Each section features a different form of tag. At the time of making this video, only about 3 episodes have been released. I analysed each episode to see which games took up most of the airtime. I found out that Chase Tag was the most popular, and the Showdown was second. So Chase Tag and Showdown were pretty much the heart of the show. Coincidentally, the term Chase Tag is a registered trademark held by World Chase Tag. Ultimate Tag just literally stole it. If you look closely, you can see even more blatant rip-offs if you look at the court design and the layout. World Chase Tag design and make all of their own obstacles. And their most iconic and, more importantly, recognisable obstacle is called the Mountain.
Yeah, just straight up. The Mountain it's scary.
Ooh, interesting right there. Over the mountain, very.
The Mountain has remained unchanged since World Chase Tag's first event in 2016, and is the only obstacle in Chase Tag that World Chase Tag transferred from their very first court designs all the way back in 2015. This probably isn't surprising now, but in Fox's Ultimate Tag, what was the most repeated obstacle? Well, that would be this obstacle that appears to be very similar to the Mountain. They obviously knew that and thought, well, we best just turn these boys a few degrees. No one's going to notice.
So we have our professional taggers.
Ultimate Tag describes their cast as professional taggers. So I was curious to find out how they went about recruiting so many famous parkour athletes, and so few of them, other than Tavon, were actually professional taggers. And by a professional tagger, I mean an athlete who has competed in a tag competition before. Before I get into talking about athletes, I really have to make this very clear. Making a living as a parkour athlete is close to impossible. These athletes were offered the opportunity of their lives. To be given this opportunity is not something most people can afford to turn down. We're all just trying to get by in life, and I have no bad feelings towards any of these athletes. However, I was curious to find out Znak & Co.'s process of finding these athletes. I've spoken to a few athletes who were approached by Znak & Co. to compete on the show, and one of the most shocking things I heard came from Paul Darnell, who is a professional stuntman out in LA.
My name is Paul Darnell. I'm a stuntman from Los Angeles, California. One day I got a call from a casting director about a new show that they were filming, and they were calling the show Ultimate Tag. They said just Google it and you should find hundreds of videos as references for what the show is going to be about. I looked online and I typed in Ultimate Tag, but I didn't find any Ultimate Tag videos. I just found World Chase Tag videos. And when I saw this, it kind of was a red flag to me. And I'd actually been in talks with the owners of World Chase Tag since I saw the first competition between partnership with Store. So I reached out to them and asked them if this was their show, calling it Ultimate Tag, and they said it wasn't. And so it was very confusing to me.
If we look at the historic Google search results for Ultimate Tag, the only thing you would see is World Chase Tag. And that was it. Ultimate Tag didn't even exist at this point. Znak & Co knew what they were doing. And many athletes would have been duped into thinking that they were actually working with World Chase Tag. As this show was announced and we were moving closer and closer to the release of Ultimate Tag, it had become very clear that World Chase Tag was being ripped off. If we look back at that previous sizzle reel, you can see even stylistically that World Chase Tag was being ripped off.
Childhood game we all know, blown up to the ultimate level.
And this was being called out on social media. And I think the most shocking thing is that JJ Watt actually commented on a World Chase Tag post telling people to watch Ultimate Tag. Look, at the end of the day, Ultimate Tag isn't a complete replica of World Chase Tag. Ultimate Tag has introduced a few new, albeit pretty gimmicky, concepts to tag. So if it went to legal action, who knows who would win? Fox. Fox would win. They would bury World Chase Tag in legal fees. But look, that isn't the thing that gets me about this story. I'm not personally against a big business investing into an underground sport. In fact, I'm all for it, if it's done right. What I am against is a big business taking a great idea and just turning it into a bit of a gimmick. Fox had an opportunity here. They had the opportunity to invest into a grassroots sport and turn it into something groundbreaking. However, they didn't. They instead just created a game show. Fox's Ultimate Tag may get some views for now. It may do really well, but at the end of the day, it's just a game show. They took something that they saw go viral on the internet, ripped the soul out of it, and created a game show. It makes me think, what if this happened to UFC in its early days? When UFC was young and still developing its culture, much like World Chase Tag. Imagine Fox came in, took UFC fighters and put them in superhero costumes, and then threw in a few gimmicky challenges like a mid-fight tickle match. Do you think if that happened to UFC, that UFC would be what it is today? World Chase Tag captures one of the most raw instincts in humans, the fight or flight response, and shows humans at their physical peak trying to evade someone chasing them.
This could be it! The title's in his hands! Can he claim the evasion over the mountain? And there it is! Unbelievable!
Run! The whole stadium here has gone mental!
I want to see that pushed to the physical limit, just like UFC has done to fighting. I don't want to see it in a corny game show. All that aside, I'm sure that the founders, Christian and Damien, will continue to push World Chase Tag as a legitimate sport. That no doubt one day will have die-hard fans from all across the world wearing the t-shirt of their favourite World Chase Tag team. Who knows, maybe Fox or another TV network will see this video and decide to invest into World Chase Tag as a legitimate sport. That could be the next UFC, but let's see what the future holds. Oh, and I have a final message for Fox. If you're planning to steal any more sports in the future, just remember, there's only one rule: don't get caught. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. But I want to know in the comments, what do you think of Ultimate Tag? Is it going to be good for World Chase Tag, or is it going to be bad? If you want to help even further support this channel, check me out on Patreon or pick up some Vite Ramen from the link in the description. Peace.